Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of this replay between MadFrog and Cast here on Lost Temple. Mutalisk in the air, trying to do a lot of pressure. Marines on the ground with weapons upgrade as this replay continues. One siege tank blown up right outside of the Zonaga watchtower, and now Vikings going Overlord hunting will be able to take down a lot of these units. I do not see any current infestors in this army. We need to see some sort of fungal growth with Zerglings and Banelings to try to neutralize this army. Zerglings quickly being dropped into this position and now going after some of these production buildings. One Marine quickly getting shot down over here. A couple of these units will get shot down as well as more Mutalisks continue to do more and more harassment. Vikings engaging, however, Vikings and Marines, so many of them. There are some roaches here, but there are no Banelings as those Mutalisks cleaning up one of those Marines. Vikings now pushing in once again. Siege tanks most likely will siege behind this tower and try to put a little bit more pressure. Back over here, we do see Zerglings over here, and now we're going to see another Overlord drop into this position, perhaps to try to take down more of these buildings. Cass needs to get more and more barracks as he is sitting on a lot of minerals as this Marine Bio Medevac Viking ball now moving out. Still, a lot of Banelings now being morphed in over here as this fight continues for the center of this ground. This is going to be very, very bad as now Cast will be fighting and easily get flanked as this Mutalisks and Roaches now putting pressure in over on this position. This planetary fortress with 5 armor really reducing the damage. However, Banelings now rolling in and will be able to take down this planetary fortress very easily. Marines, however, now moving out as well, being able to shoot down a lot of these Overlords. We currently see supply locked 173 over 148. Now training up 6 Ultralists, however. One Queen quickly coming into position, going to get taken down. Down it goes. Planetary fortress and now Command Center getting taken down over here as the Mutalisk trying to take down some of the units in transition. Back over here, we see this really strong ball continuing to put a lot of bit of pressure down as these siege tanks taking damage back over here. So we're going to have a lot of problem. Cast realizing the issue as now Ultralisk going to be coming in from the back. Ultralisk and now Banelings rolling through. Marines and Marauders running for their lives along that creep. Will it be enough? No, so many of those units taken down. So now only down to 10 Marines and a couple Mutalisks there. Vikings there, as there are over a dozen Mutalisks. She's currently sitting on 13. Ultralisk trying to come into position, trying to chomp away. And now we see those Mutalisks pulling back against those Vikings, and those Vikings just dealing so much damage against those air units. Vikings doing a great job shooting down and taking down some of those Overlords once again, and transfusion on some of these Ultralists here. And now those Ultralists now pushing in will be able to start chomping away at those Marauders. Marauders getting picked up into that medevac. Siege tanks, however, taking a lot of damage once again, and down they go. So wow, what a tactical evac here as these Marauders now getting cleaned up. More drones now being transferred over here, perhaps to this high yield mineral location that has not yet been mined. Back over here in the center, we have SCVs carrying gold minerals, trying to stay within this fight. Not quite sure what they plan to do. Army-wise, 3,100 versus 2,900, 114 over 122 as more Overlords go pop. Back over here, Marines and Marauders dropping down over here, but those medevacs will get taken down, and now we see MadFrog with a strong army advantage. Economically speaking, however, both sides very low. MadFrog does, however, have 2 hatcheries in position to continue to mine. Meanwhile, Cast only has 1. As this Command Center is sitting over here, and we also have a Roach in this position. Roach now getting level 3 armor upgrade, so 4 armor upgrades, reducing the damage on those Marauders from 24 down to 20. Back over here, we do see Mutalisks quickly coming in, Ultralisk coming in as well, Siege tanks trying to get in position. We have one Raven dropping in a point defense drone against those Mutalisks, so those Mutalisks will not be able to get that additional splash damage. And now these Vikings giving chase as these units pulling back over here. Vikings going to get quickly destroyed though. Down one goes, down goes another, and a couple Marauders getting splashed apart there. There is that point defense drone. Trying to deplete the energy on that point defense drone is absolutely critical. I'm already down to 120 energy essentially. Back over here, MadFrog trying to get a stronger and stronger economy going. No weapons upgrade, and still just over here we are at the Hive Tech. No Broodlords, and now we see the Seeker missile now being researched for those Ravens. However, I only see 1 Raven in the air, and that that Seeker missile costs 125 energy. That will be very expensive. Cast now with another orbital command here may start to try to call down mules into that location. Really needs to start getting a stronger economy going. Cast has a stronger army, but and has a stronger economy over here as he is mule mining out this position very quickly. And so that will be saturated in just a moment. We do see an Overlord spawning creep over here, so this Command Center unable to get into position, and now MadFrog a little bit in trouble. No longer has the army advantage and no longer has the economic advantage. So MadFrog unable to capitalize on his earlier lead, and now going to have a little bit of trouble. We see some overlords still scouting out over here. Only 2 mineral patches that have not been mined out are from here and from here, essentially, as this command center will be landing in just a moment. However, Mutalisk will be able to shoot that down very quickly. That command center, however, has 3 armor, so that 3 armor will reduce the damage down from 9 to 6 for that command center. So that command center now trying to pull away. Marines joining in on that fight, and that Raven no secret missile just quite yet, and down goes one of those buildings. The secret missile has been researched, but 125 energy is so long to mass up on those on those Ravens. Back over here, we do see some overlords, and now we see a large army of Ultralisk. Production-wise, another hatchery coming into play, getting the Corvid reactor for those. For those, well, okay, already finished researching it. So for those Ravens, back over here, Overlord's now trying to run away from that Marine. Marine has 2-0 upgrades, as those Mutalisks going to quickly come in and then just shoot that Marine out of that out of the ground. Down it goes. Movement speed of 3.75. Missile turrets now coming into position. However, we do see one Raven. Raven does not have enough energy just quite yet. Now going after that, putting in a point defense drone, so clean up a lot of that damage, and now those Marines getting there just in time. So nicely done by that point defense drone. Saving, I believe, about what, I can do the math. 13 times 9, 108 plus 9, so 117 points of damage would have caused this building to start burning. Over here, we do see some Zerglings back over here, and now we see a medevac now pulling into this position. There is one Queen, and that is it. That Queen now trying to snipe down that medevac. Marauder's going to drop down in just a second. Zerglings coming down as well. However, Mutalisk quickly coming in, and this is going to be a very bad day for this Marauder army, quickly getting taken down, all at the cost of one Queen and one Zergling. So Ultralisk now coming back over here. Ultralisk have 5 armor upgrades, and that is it. So those Ultralisks gonna be able to take a lot of damage and punishment from those Marines. Marines only dealing 2 damage per attack right now, as they only have the level 2 weapons upgrade. Those Marauders are the only thing that will be able to get through that thick Carpus upgrade for that Ultralisk. Back over here, still more Mutalisks in the air, Ultralisks on the ground. This is the strength of a gas army for Zerg, as this Marine Bio Ball once again moving out. There are some Banelings now being produced, 9 Banelings right now, level 2 weapons upgrade and level 1 armor upgrade for infantry. More Ultralists being trained as well. Army wise, 6,300 versus 6,100, except MadFrog has a much heavier gas intensive army. Will he be able to capitalize on this? Back over here, we do see a hatchery now coming into play. No Nidus network, a little bit of a surprise, as now we are quickly seeing the scanner sweep revealing and taking down some of those creep tumors. Overlords, however, are carrying Banelings, so we may see a Baneling bombing run with those Overlords in just a moment, and that will be very, very deadly, as those Banelings are able to just drop down onto those units. Mutalisks will auto-target those Vikings will auto-target the Mutalisks. However, down goes one missile turret, another missile turret gonna get shot down as well. However, Vikings now coming in as well to take in, the Raven does not have enough energy for, Raven might get shot down. Getting another point defense drone just in time, as those Mutalisks backing off once again. Over here, Marines and Marauders not quite sure where to go, as this Ultralist army getting massed up. It's really going to be all about positioning and flanking at this stage in the game. 6,600 versus 6,750, 5,100 gas army versus a 2,225. But with so many Marines and Marauders, that is going to be very difficult to deal with. But however, there are I can't even count this right now, 7 Ultralisks, so 28 Banelings ready to do a Baneling bombing run. Back over here, SCV is now doing some long distance gas refining, as Siege Tank sitting in this position over here. Level 2 weapons upgrade should be completed in just a moment. Raven, however, still does not have enough energy for any Seeker missiles, so this is really going to depend on a lot. If those Seeker missiles are able to hit an Overlord or 2 Overlords and get all that splash damage done, that is going to be absolutely crazy. Mutalisk now rushing in, and now Ultralisk coming in. They're getting choked up here, as Overlords now trying to push into this position over here. Are these Overlords going to be able to drop anything? Army-wise, we already see some Mutalisks now dropping in. Banelings getting some splash damage in, and now that's completely just overrun there. Those Ultralisks with that 5 armor or 6 armor able to just simply destroy this whole entire center position, not really even needing those Banelings. And Cass says GG. So wow, MadFrog in the early portion of the game taking up and running off of 8 gas very, very quickly to get this Mutalisk, Baneling, Ultralisk army, and just able to get that going. Cast, playing off of 2 bases, a very interesting front door opening, allowed him to allowed him to get gas out of this refinery, even though there was an extractor trick on this refinery for quite some time, an extractor deny on this gas, but still Cass was able to get that gas and then continue to mine pretty effectively and not delay his tech, which was a brilliant play by Cass. Cass then was able to slowly try to take out this expansion. However, because of the early hatchery by MadFrog over here, this early hatchery enabled MadFrog to start just power droning very, very quickly. At one point, I believe I saw 70 or 80 drones for MadFrog. So MadFrog was definitely mining at a high rate throughout the whole entire fight. If you take a look at the unit losses, you can see MadFrog losing 25,000 versus Cass 28,000. And I wish I could see the spending. There's that spending. MadFrog spending much more on his army, not as much on his technology. But Cass trying to win the game with mass technology, using his using all those upgrades, the weapons upgrade, the armor upgrades, the combat shields, the concussive shells, the seeker missiles, the additional 25 starting energy on those reactors or on those Ravens, but still not enough to stop this Zerg swarm. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between MadFrog and Cast here on Lost Temple.